The New York City skyline emerges as dawn breaks, a symphony of light and ambition. One Vanderbilt pierces the clouds, a monument to Cassian Solak's towering influence. Below, the city lights flicker, hinting at the immense scope of Cassian Solak's empire. The sprawling cityscape unfolds, a testament to power and ambition under the awakening sky. In the pristine solitude of his office, Cassian Solak stands, a silhouette against the awakening dawn. The office, clinical and stark, frames Cassian's intense contemplation as he surveys the horizon. As daylight strengthens, Cassian's figure hardens, embodying resolve and unwavering purpose. New York in January 2025 unfolds beneath him, a sprawling tableau of steel and glass. His empire rises silently, a testament to precision rather than luck. Cassian's world, a silent dominion built on unwavering exactitude.
Power is just an illusion, until you bleed for it. And once you bleed, you know what it costs to keep it.
The world is consumed by a media frenzy, headlines screaming of Solak doubles valuation, and the Spectra initiative shocks markets. Cassian moves through the chaos, his expression unreadable, untouched by the surrounding turmoil. The relentless headlines continue to barrage the senses, each one amplifying the magnitude of Solak's and Spectra's impact. Cassian remains unfazed, a figure of quiet resolve amidst the deafening storm of market upheaval. In the dim glow of the encrypted call, Jordan Lannister sits before a secure terminal, his focus absolute. The screen flashes with stark clarity. Helena Grigorov, connected. The digital connection is established, the weight of the impending conversation heavy in the air. Jordan Lannister steadies himself, ready to engage with Helena Grigorov. The encrypted call begins, promising a tense exchange. The scene is charged with an eerie silence, the shadows playing across Helena's face, cloaking her in mystery. Secure your place in the new empire. Helena's eyes narrow, her voice laced with ambition and threat. Solak's already fading. In a place of hushed anticipation, Jordan's stance is rigid, his eyes darting with a blend of fear and greed. The air thickens with the weight of unspoken bargains, each breath a gamble.
And my price?
The question hangs in the air, heavy with the promise of reward and the threat of consequence. His eyes narrow slightly as he awaits the response, the tension palpable. The unspoken possibilities swirl around him, each one a potential path to fortune or ruin. In a room shrouded in shadows, a figure emerges, identified as Helena. A palpable sense of anticipation fills the air, as Helena's expression reveals a deep, smug satisfaction. Control, influence, legacy. The weight of her words hangs heavy, promising a future shaped by her design. The Zurich auction glitters with anticipation, velvet curtains framing a den of high stakes and hidden desires. Designer tuxedos cut through the air, faces masked with calculation as fortunes hang in the balance. Helena stands poised, a beacon of elegance amidst the gathering storm, her gaze sharp and observant. Victor lurks in the shadows, a predator concealed, his presence radiating a quiet menace that chills the air. The object of desire, Iridium X, promises power and wealth, drawing all into a dangerous game of obsession. Beneath the radiant glow of a grand chandelier, the faces of wealthy attendees are lit with anticipation. The air buzzes with hushed excitement as fortunes hang in the balance.
Opening bid, 50 million euros.
A collective gasp sweeps through the room as the bidding begins. Helena lifts her paddle high, the polished wood reflecting the day's triumphant light. Victor's gaze is drawn to Cassian's vacant chair, his brow furrowed with worry. A shadow of unease darkens Victor's face, a stark contrast to the club's cheerful ambiance. Helena's smug expression fills the room as she confidently faces Victor. He doesn't even have the nerve to show. Helena's eyes narrow, betraying a hint of triumph as Victor remains silent. Helena's posture exudes arrogance, her shoulders squared as she dominates the space. The air crackles with tension as Helena's words hang heavy in the silence. Helena's gaze pierces through Victor, a silent challenge in her eyes. Cassian strides into the auction house. His entrance commands attention. All eyes turn, drawn to his presence. The weight of his presence is palpable, the focus of every eye in the room. In the heart of the unknown, Cassian stands, a silent focal point. In the dim light, Cassian's hand moves with practiced calm, a single bid card finding its place on the worn table. The paddle lands softly, the sound barely audible in the tense atmosphere. The simple act carries a weight of unspoken strategy, a quiet declaration of intent in a high-stakes game. All eyes now focus on the card, awaiting the next move. The auction house buzzes with anticipation as every head swivels, drawn by an unseen force. All eyes lock onto Mr. Solak, the room's murmur intensifying. The auctioneer's voice slices through the air. Sold for 140 million to Mr. Solak. A collective gasp sweeps through the room as Mr. Solak's triumph hangs heavy in the air. In the bright lights of the press conference, Helena's smile falters, a fleeting shadow crossing her face. Her expression shifts, an unreadable glint now in her eyes. Amid the palpable tension, Cassian advances with resolve. He moves towards the microphones, his face an inscrutable mask. The room holds its breath, anticipating his next move. Cassian stands before the cameras, his gaze unwavering, a storm of determination brewing in his eyes.
I'll donate a quarter of the Iridium X to neural research in children. Let's not forget what real futures look like.
The studio lights gleam, casting a halo around Cassian as he advocates for the children's cause. Each word he speaks echoes the deep commitment he feels for those whose futures hang in the balance. In this moment of unity, Cassian's act of donating a quarter of Iridium X to neural research in children shines as a beacon of hope. In hushed tones, Helena leans in close to Victor, the urgency in her voice cutting through the surrounding noise. He wants a war. A chilling resolve solidifies her stance, her voice dropping to a near whisper. Let's give him one. Victor absorbs Helena's words, his expression unreadable as he considers the weight of her proposition. The promise of conflict hangs heavy between them, setting the stage for a confrontation. Victor stands as a symbol of affluence, the center of attention. Reporters encircle Victor, their cameras flashing. The scene reflects Victor's power and influence. He remains unmoved, a fortress amidst the storm. Victor stands, a subtle smirk forming on his lips.
I guess Mr. Solak couldn't afford a Phantom this year.
His gaze sweeps across the scene, a silent assessment of wealth and status. The smirk deepens as he takes in the surroundings, his expression hinting at amusement. A confident air surrounds Victor as he continues to survey the setting. The street explodes with laughter, its echoes bouncing off the towering buildings. The joyous cacophony shatters as a deep rumble begins to build, drowning out the laughter. A Koenigsegg Phantom screeches into view, its polished surface reflecting the bright sunlight. The car halts dramatically, the silence punctuated by the hiss of brakes and the lingering scent of burnt rubber. Cassian emerges from the sleek vehicle, his face betraying a hint of amusement. Cassian's gaze sweeps over the crowd, his amusement deepening as he observes their reactions. Cassian faces the press, his controlled intensity palpable. His gaze sweeps over the crowd, each reporter hanging on his every word. He pauses, a moment of silent command before he speaks.
Some things aren't sold to the public. They're reserved for owners.
A sudden storm of camera flashes erupts, bathing the room in blinding light. Victor's face is illuminated by the flashing lights, a wide grin plastered across his face. His grin falters, a subtle shift hinting at an underlying change. The light reflects off Victor's eyes as his expression fades into a vacant, glassy stare. The grin vanishes, replaced by a chilling emptiness in Victor's eyes. The Titan Intelligence Office, once silent, now vibrates with energy. Cassian stands centered in the room, his presence commanding as he engages the holographic interface. His fingers dance across the controls, each movement precise and deliberate. With unwavering focus, Cassian orchestrates every department, his intensity palpable. In the stark glow of her screen, Helena hunches, her brow a landscape of concentration. The screen floods her face with light, displaying complex diagrams of leaked Titan schematics. She zooms in, her wrist flicks, focusing on the intricate details of a forbidden technology. Shadows dance across her face as she mutters, lost in the labyrinth of circuits and code. Her finger traces along an intricate circuit, whispering secrets only she can understand. In the dim light, Helena deciphers the blueprint, a lone warrior battling for answers. Go, launch Delphinet. Mirror their interface, then leak it. Did anyone hear me? I said, leak it to the media. The people respond instantly, their movements precise and deliberate. The apartment is filled with the cold glare of screens, each screaming, Titan accused of theft. Cassian sits, a statue carved from shadow, his thoughts a fortress against the storm. In the echoing void, Cassian's voice reverberates, a haunting premonition of unseen hunters.
They're not after my company. They're after my ghost.
The unseen space seems to amplify the weight of his revelation, the air thick with anticipation. Cassian's silhouette, stark against the vague light, reflects a man haunted by his past, bracing for a confrontation with his spectral pursuers. The echo of Cassian's words hangs in the air, a chilling reminder of the relentless forces closing in on him. Bathed in the cool light of multiple monitors, Mei Chen's face is etched with intense focus. Lines of code cascade down the screens, a digital waterfall reflecting her deep concentration. A series of logins flash, each a brief spark against the dark backdrop of the night. Something is not right. An unsettling anomaly disrupts the seamless flow. Inconsistencies begin to ripple, like fractures spreading across a once perfect surface. Mei Chen's focus intensifies as she leans closer, determined to unravel the digital mystery. Mei Chen stands motionless, head slightly tilted as she absorbs the surroundings. Her eyes narrow slightly, a hint of understanding flickering across her face as she begins to piece together the hidden narrative. Helena smirks with anticipation on the tech panel stage, confident in her expectations. Her smug expression begins to fade as footsteps approach, signaling someone's arrival. The atmosphere shifts as Mei appears, disrupting Helena's assumptions and altering the scene's dynamic. Helena's expression falters, surprise flickering across her face as she realizes Cassian is not the one entering. The room crackles with unspoken tension as Helena stands as a beacon of unwavering power. Her gaze, sharp and condescending, pierces through the space, aimed at an unseen presence. "You sent your CTO? Not brave enough to face me yourself?" The challenge hangs heavy in the air, a direct assault on someone's courage and authority. The room seems to hold its breath, awaiting the unseen adversary's response to Helena's taunt. On stage, Mei Chen stands with unwavering resolve. Light bounces off the cold, metallic surfaces surrounding her, reflecting her steely determination.
"I don't need bravery to dismantle bad logic. I only need facts."
Her words hang in the air, a challenge to any who dare oppose her logic. The environment seems to amplify the weight of her words, emphasizing her commitment to truth. The arena pulsates with a deafening roar, the crowd's energy palpable. Helena's jaw tightens, her gaze hardening with resolve amidst the overwhelming noise. Victor averts his gaze, his eyes drifting downwards as if burdened by the weight of the moment. The deafening roar of the crowd seems to amplify Helena's internal struggle. Victor remains withdrawn, his silence speaking volumes in the heart of the tumultuous arena. The palpable tension between Helena and Victor hangs heavy in the air. Across Titan, a cyber attack explodes, digital lines of code dissolving into nothingness. Servers spark and fry, overwhelmed by the relentless digital assault. On screens, the lines of code break down, systems failing under the cyber onslaught. Investors watch in horror as monitors flash, reflecting their growing panic. Panic spreads as servers fail, the digital infrastructure crumbling under the intense cyber attack. The faces of investors glow with the reflected light of failing systems, mirroring their despair. A television screen blazes with a breaking news report, casting a stark light across the studio. The news anchor's face appears on screen, etched with grim determination as they deliver the somber news.
The anchor intones, "Massive data leak. Speculation now swirls around product integrity at Solak Holdings."
The words, Solak Holdings, flash ominously on the screen, signaling a crisis. The breaking news report casts a pall over the studio, hinting at deeper, unseen troubles. The news gravetone hangs in the air, signaling potential repercussions for Solak Holdings. The boardroom descends into chaos, a bloodbath of plummeting graphs and furious shouts. Voices rise in a crescendo of panic and blame. Amidst the turmoil, Cassian remains a pillar of unnerving stillness. His silence speaks volumes as the storm rages around him. A fortune, reduced to nothing. 10 billion turned to ash. An event forever etched in memory. They call it the Solak Implosion. The Solak Implosion, a name that will never be forgotten. In the dim expanse of the unknown, Cassian stirs. Muscles tense, he gathers his strength. Slowly, deliberately, Cassian begins to rise. Cassian stands, a solitary figure against the stark backdrop. Cassian dominates the head of the polished table, the weight of leadership etched on his face. Around the table, board members sit, their expressions a canvas of worry and rebellion. He gestures, his expression hardening as he surveys the opulent room.
I didn't build this empire for applause. I built it to survive a war. And this?
Cassian halts abruptly, his presence demanding attention. His voice pierces the silence, sharp and resolute. This was just the first volley. The air thickens with unspoken anticipation, a prelude to the coming storm. The weight of his words hangs heavy, signaling a battle far from over. Jordan disappears into the shadows of a side room, seeking privacy. In the dim light, Jordan retrieves a device, his fingers dancing across its surface as he checks an encrypted message. His eyes scan the message, a sense of anticipation and resolve etched on his face.
Phase 1, complete. Await instruction.
The message sent, Jordan slips the device back into his pocket, melting back into the shadows, ready for what comes next. In the depths of an unknown location, Mei Chen observes, her silence a storm brewing. Her gaze pierces the veil of the visible, hinting at calculations unseen. Her stillness masks a tempest of thought, a storm behind the storm. The air crackles with unspoken intent, her silence more telling than any scream. A calculating predator in repose, Mei Chen is the calm before the inevitable. Amidst the glimmering cityscape, Cassian navigates the crowded streets, his silhouette outlined by the vivid lights. The city's relentless energy mirrors the resolve etched on Cassian's face. Each step echoes his unwavering determination, the city lights reflecting in his focused gaze. The vibrant cityscape becomes a backdrop to Cassian's resolute figure, his purpose as clear as the city lights. In the heart of New York, Cassian strides forward, a beacon of unwavering determination against the urban night. In Helena's office, the night air buzzes with triumph as Helena and Victor raise their glasses high. The clinking of glasses rings out, a symphony of success echoing through the room. Unseen, unheard, Mei Chen watches from the shadows, her presence a silent question mark. They toast to their victory, unaware of Mei Chen's silent observation. A toast to victory? A shadow of betrayal. The night holds its breath. The celebration unfolds, oblivious to the silent storm gathering just beyond the light. Mei Chen is deeply absorbed in her work, her brow furrowed with intense concentration. Her desk is covered with stacks of documents, glowing screens illuminating the room with complex data. Driven by a fierce determination, Mei Chen seeks to uncover the truth hidden within the data. Her fingers fly across the keyboard, deftly analyzing data and connecting hidden links. As the night deepens, Mei Chen remains steadfast, her pursuit of the truth unwavering. In the solitude of his apartment, Jordan's anxiety is palpable as he nervously awaits what comes next. He stands paralyzed, caught in the torment of divided loyalties and burning ambition. The weight of his decision presses down, the silence amplifying his internal conflict. His apartment, once a sanctuary, now feels like a cage of his own making. He grapples with the moral tightrope he is forced to walk. Each tick of the clock echoes the countdown to an irreversible choice. Cassian arrives at the bustling construction site, his presence immediately commanding attention. His keen eyes survey the scene, taking in the symphony of labor and the skeletal framework of progress. A faint smile graces his lips as he witnesses the tangible rise of his ambitions. His mind races, strategizing the imminent return to power. Mei Chen stands, the cold glow of a holographic display casting eerie shadows across her face. With a gesture, she reveals the complex conspiracy woven within the data stream.
I've uncovered the full extent of the conspiracy, Cassian. The tendrils reach further than we initially suspected.
I've identified the key players. Their connections are intricate, their motives disturbing. Helena sits alone at her desk, the office lights casting a cold glow around her. A cryptic message appears on her computer screen, the words swimming before her eyes as anxiety takes hold. She glances nervously around, searching the shadows as a chill sweeps over her. Paranoia tightens its grip, and Helena's unease deepens, her heart pounding in her chest. Jordan stands alone in his messy apartment, the sunlight casting long shadows across the room. His jaw tightens, a silent battle raging within him. The weight of the world bears down on Jordan as he grapples with a momentous choice. His face contorted in anguish, Jordan contemplates betraying Helena. He makes a heart-wrenching decision to align himself with Cassian. A profound sense of despair washes over Jordan as he solidifies his treacherous choice. In a Zurich alleyway, slick with rain and steeped in shadow, Cassian confronts Victor. Victor halts. His face flashes with irritation at the sudden obstruction. The air thickens with unspoken threats as the two men lock eyes. A tense standoff ensues, each man measuring the other, the silence amplifying the impending clash. The standoff explodes into a brutal physical altercation, a whirlwind of fists and fury in the confined space. Under the veil of night, Mei Chen stealthily infiltrates Helena's office, her every step measured and silent. Shadows play around her as she navigates the room, a silent hunter on a crucial mission. Her eyes scan the room with focused intensity, searching for the evidence that will expose Helena's crimes. Every movement is precise, driven by the determination to bring Helena's criminal empire crashing down. The courtroom is charged with anticipation as the trial is about to begin. Helena stands tall, her expression unreadable as she prepares for the legal battle ahead. Jordan stands resolute, a determined look in his eyes as the sunlight fills the room. Lawyers whisper, their hushed tones adding to the mounting tension. The judge sits sternly, gavel in hand, ready to command order and justice. High above the awakening city, Cassian stands silhouetted against the vibrant dawn, a solitary figure surveying his domain. The first light of day bathes the sky in a breathtaking palette of orange and pink, mirroring the hope and ambition in Cassian's eyes.
I have rebuilt my empire, stronger than before.
The wind whips around him, a tangible force carrying the sounds of the city's resurgence and the weight of Cassian's ambition. He remains unmoved, a testament to his resilience and the unyielding spirit that has rebuilt his empire from the ashes. In the quiet of morning, shadows stretch long across Cassian's office, a silent prelude to the day's unfolding drama. The sudden, piercing ring of the telephone shatters the calm, a stark intrusion that demands attention. With a furrowed brow, Cassian reaches for the receiver, curiosity etched on his face. As Cassian lifts the receiver, the anticipation of the unknown hangs heavy in the air. The voice on the other end hints at new challenges and opportunities. The promise of uncharted paths and looming trials stirs within Cassian as he prepares to face what lies ahead. Under the cloak of night, Mei Chen meets a mysterious figure in a secret location. The air crackles with anticipation as they engage in hushed discussions about future plans. Distorted shadows dance around them in the dim moonlight. The clandestine meeting is shrouded in mystery. The unforgiving stone of the prison walls encircles Helena, each block a testament to her confinement. Shadows play across Helena's face, each flicker accentuating the growing bitterness etched into her features. Haunted by memories, each moment of her downfall replays endlessly, a broken record of regret and despair. Helena's hands clench into fists, a silent vow of retribution taking shape in the dim light of her cell. In the stark solitude, Helena resolves, "I will make them pay." Amidst the glittering facade of a Monaco casino, Jordan sits at a poker table, his once vast fortune slipping away. The opulent casino mirrors the false promises, each spin and shuffle sealing his financial fate. Regret etches itself onto Jordan's face, reflecting the neon glow of the Monaco night as ghosts of past choices swirl around him. The weight of loss presses down, heavy and suffocating, as Jordan confronts the reality of his dwindling fortune. In his high-tech office, Cassian's ambition gleams as brightly as the futuristic device on his desk. The sleek device sits silently, promising a revolution. Cassian gestures towards his creation, the air thick with anticipation. His latest innovation is poised to disrupt the tech industry once more. The room buzzes with the unspoken promise of groundbreaking change. A cacophony of voices rises from the heart of New York City, where a vibrant protest unfolds under the open sky. Signs hoisted high become a visual battle cry, each slogan a direct hit at Cassian's corporation. The crowd's unified chants resonate, their collective anger palpable as they demand social justice. The air crackles with the raw energy of a community united, their voices amplifying the call for change. In the solitude of his office, Cassian sits cloaked in the screen's cold light, a solitary figure wrestling with the morality of his creations. Doubt clouds Cassian's mind as he questions whether his work serves a noble purpose or merely feeds his own ambition. The weight of his technological marvel bears down on Cassian, forcing a confrontation with his deepest motivations. Cassian's face is half lit by the monitor, the shadows accentuating the conflict raging within. He leans back, eyes fixed on a distant point as he battles the storm of doubt brewing within him. The soft hum of the computer fills the silence as Cassian confronts the ethical quicksand of his own making. As the sun dips low, Mei Chen arrives at a secluded village, her silhouette stark against the vast open fields. The long shadows of the setting sun stretch across the fields, painting the scene with hues of gold and amber. Determination etched on her face, Mei Chen stands ready to dedicate her skills to the villagers. She pauses, taking in the humble beauty of the landscape, a deep breath filling her lungs with the air of the countryside. With a resolute step, she begins her journey into the heart of the village, ready to embrace the challenges ahead. In the dim light of Helena's secret hideout, shadows dance across the faces of her followers. Helena begins to speak, her voice resonating with resolve. With a dramatic flourish, Helena gestures towards the map. The candlelight flickers, casting eerie shadows as Helena emphasizes a critical point on the map. Helena's expression hardens, her determination unwavering as she lays out the plan. Sunlight weaves through the leaves, illuminating Central Park, where determination etches Jordan's face as he stands before a makeshift table. With deliberate care, Jordan folds a child's t-shirt, each crease a silent promise amidst the city's relentless clamor. The sounds of the city form a constant backdrop. Jordan pauses, his eyes reflecting the weight of the world, yet his hands never falter in their purpose. In the quiet of his office, Cassian is absorbed by the soft glow of his monitor, unaware of the tension about to unfold. The cryptic message appears, its stark warning cutting through the calm. Cassian's brow furrows, a flicker of concern igniting in his eyes as he rereads the message. He leans closer, the weight of the unspoken tension in the room pressing down on him. Cassian's expression hardens, the gravity of the warning sinking in. The air grows heavy, the unspoken tension now a palpable presence in the confined space. New York City throbs with electric energy as Cassian strides down the bustling sidewalk, his face shadowed by looming skyscrapers. From the inky blackness, assassins materialize, their eyes gleaming with sinister intent. Sensing danger, Cassian spins around, his senses on high alert as he prepares for a deadly confrontation. The chase ignites, plunging Cassian into a desperate flight through the city's labyrinthine streets. Mei Chen is immersed in her work. Her face is illuminated by the cold glow of the screens. A tangled web of wires surrounds her, evidence of countless hours spent in pursuit of her goal. The dark circles under her eyes tell a story of sleepless nights fueled by unwavering determination. She stares intensely at the monitors, her expression focused, her hands moving deftly across the keyboard. Driven by the hope of saving the world, Mei Chen pushes herself to the brink, her spirit unyielding. In the dim, flickering light of her secret hideout, Helena plots her next move. A holographic projection shimmers before Helena, revealing Cassian's empire in intricate detail. Cruelty dances across Helena's face as a wicked smile curls her lips. With a flourish, Helena unveils her master plan, a scheme of shadows and ambition. She gestures dramatically at the holographic map, revealing every calculated detail. Against the backdrop of the New York City skyline, Cassian and Helena prepare for their climactic battle. Helena lunges forward, her eyes blazing with determination. Cassian evades her attack with calculated precision. The battle intensifies as they exchange blows, the city sprawling beneath them. The skyline watches as Helena gains the upper hand, her victory seemingly within reach. Sunlight pours into Cassian's high-rise office, illuminating the space. The sprawling city stretches out beneath Cassian, a vast landscape of his domain. Cassian sits at his desk, lost in reflection, his mind replaying the battles and deals of his past. A profound realization dawns upon Cassian, shifting his perspective. True power, Cassian realizes, lies not in wealth or control, but in the impact one has on the world.